Central help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Health City at Camana Bay is now open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, offering world-class emergency care whenever you need it. From minor injuries to life-threatening emergencies, our experienced team is ready to provide expert care around the clock. Conveniently located in the heart of Camana Bay, we're here for you and your loved ones, anytime, day or night. Health City at Camana Bay, 24/7 emergency services, because your health can't wait. Visit healthcitycaymanislands.com for more information. Health City, caring for you, always.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk Today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome and thank you very much for joining us. I think it says Tuesday in the calendar. It's the 7th of January. Can you believe it already? In a couple of days, if there's 7 days in a week and we're only into Tuesday, have we gone 1 week already? Or just 7 days into the new year? But we want it to be a great day and a great week and a great year and a great century. So let's join us as you share your thoughts with us. 949-8037 or 949-6990. The WhatsApp is there for you to call. It's going to be some open line. Who's going to be the first caller? Should we give a prize? Well, it depends if we like the caller. If we like you, we give you a prize. You know what the prize could be? Well, you're going to have to call and find out. Maybe it's the third person. Maybe it's the 7th. Maybe it's the 7th. Let's get them all in today. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome back. Can you hear me? Well, call and tell me that you can. You want to hear it louder? You want to hear it in a much more profound way? Well, tell me. 949-8037 or 949-6990. Toll free is there if you can, use it. WhatsApp call 925-3261. All right, it's going to be open line, part and parcel, because, well, recognize it or not, many of us have not finished the year. It just melds one into the next, one day into the next, 1 month into the next, 1 year ends, 1 year begins. We don't know the distinction, the delineation between the two. For others, hey, we took a break. So despite it being Tuesday, the 7th of January, we're still not only in vacation mode, we're physically not present on the island. And I should have to ask ourselves a couple of things. One, we work and sometimes we rarely relax. And by the time we do, a friend of mine long ago said, he would caution every organization and every business, and as a sort of advice to government. He says a policy was his word, that maybe vacations should be at least 3 weeks. However that's structured, because if your job is such that, and it's increasingly becoming the decades since, that by the time 2 weeks over, you're just starting to mentally unwind, and you've already started to prepare to go back to work. So by the time you get into mental vacation mode, you're back at work. Now this is a fellow who has not just inspired me, but made me understand the nature of work, in that he worked a certain place for a decade plus, maybe close to 2, and then a second job, and he's only had 2 in his career, both in the same sector, loosely, broadly, financial services, and worked there for maybe close to 3 decades. And I said, man, admire your work ethic, man, you must have loved it. He said, nope, hated every day. You would not have known that. He was the first in the office, the last to leave, not because he didn't know what he was doing, but he gave his customers excellent service. But it wasn't his joy. He had a handful of children to support, a wonderful wife, bills to pay, education, and all those things. And as a man, a husband, a father, man, I look up to him. I still do. If it wasn't that I would embarrass him, I'd call his name, but he's a good fellow. We'll take this call. I'll share some other things in a second, but let's take this next and first call. Welcome. Thank you for sharing.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. Happy New Year to you and Miss Susan and everybody.
And to you, Mr. Raymond. A wonderful New Year to you, sir. Good to hear you. You're sounding better today.
Yes, sir. Okay, I want to talk about, I don't know if you were aware of another Chinese outbreak epidemic in China that is spreading rapidly. The hospitals are overcrowded, and it's among mostly young children.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you sharing with us, and all I know is what has been in the media, something in India, partly UK hospitals, according to media reports. I've never heard that name before. I didn't know that existed, but certainly need to be prayerful and mindful of people's health and well-being. So you talk to us, and I'll try to understand and listen, and maybe comment as well.
Yes, sir. The name for it is HMPV. HMPV.
Okay.
Human metapneumovirus. Human metapneumovirus.
Mm-hmm.
They said their hospitals are overcrowded. Even the morgues, imagine, the morgues and the crematories for cremating bodies. Oh,
yeah.
That's frightening to hear.
Yeah, but let me ask you, and please don't lose your train of thought. Forgive me if you put you off. Have you heard about this HMPV prior to just recently?
Yes, it was an outbreak in the year 2001.
Okay.
Right, and it starts out with a flu-like symptoms like sneezing, runny nose, respiratory problems, shortness of breath,
right,
headache, fever,
Yeah.
various symptoms like that. So
Yeah.
what a thing to start out with the new year there in China, and you know what it was before.
Well, 2020.
Were destroyed and gone too early and things like that
Yeah.
because of it. Anyway, we got to be very concerned about it.
Yes, sir. And we're seeing...
Also, my concern for the last 20 years, maybe 25 years, and I've been discussing it with quite a number of people, family and friends, about this outrageous outbreak of so many different types of cancers. And my philosophy about it, my assessment was telling my friends that chemically radiated drinking water and chemically radiated foods. Okay, the drinking water, the bottled water that we are drinking contains calcium chloride, sodium chloride, and then the one, of course, the local one contains chlorine. And with the number of outbreaks of cancers in the bladder and many other parts of the body like never before. So in the United States, they have an alarming outbreak of cancers in younger people ranging from 20 to 50 years old. That's really frightening for our society. And the great number of cancers that we have in the Cayman Islands, because in Cayman Brac, that's the number one killer in Cayman Brac. People are dying from that. No, I hate to be talking, but I need to educate the public and bring this to the public's attention.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, definitely so. There are over 200 different kinds of cancers. And then we're talking about this disability that I have been suffering from for the last 8 years, and there's probably 100, I know it's 105 people on Cayman Brac that has it. This gout that is caused from what we eat and drink, what we take in our systems. And there are so many people here on Cayman Brac, and they say men in the middle age group from like 30 up to about 75 that has this problem. And that is all related to the same thing, chemicals in the water. I have a friend in Grand Cayman. If that person drinks Aquafina water, that can trigger a gout attack, start the pain and agony, and then it will continue. It normally lasts from 5 days to a week. Sometimes some people have it 1 month, and there is a remedy for it. Tablet that you can take daily. I need to educate the public about this while I'm on here. There is a tablet can be taken daily called allopurinol, which regulates the acid in the body, that it doesn't form and become crystallite, like microscopic particulate, gets between the joints and inflames the joints and causes the severe agony.
So it doesn't...
Also, what I discovered about it on gout attacks with myself, it swells the tissue of the veins, the nerves, and that's why it's such an excruciating pain. You may notice people limping. A lot of people will have it and believe it's change of weather or arthritis or rheumatism, but the best thing to do is get a blood test, test your uric acid, and if it's about, it should be a normal of 5, but when you got a gout attack, it be at a rating of 10, very high. And if you don't stay on those tablets to prevent it or avoid eating the foods and the drinks will bring it on, especially alcoholic drinks is very bad for it. Coca-Colas, Pepsis, red meat, steaks, and all that kind of thing. So it's time for me to discuss this publicly on the air, because I know it's so many people in the Prague that have been suffering from it. If you get it, you're disabled. You can hardly do anything. You just got to wait, and they give you medication, and it takes from 5 days, I said, to a week, to 2 weeks, to a month sometimes to get better.
Right.
It hampers people's employment and everything about it. You're immobilized. Some people have to use a crutch to get around. I mean, it's a terrible thing when you hear about...
Yeah. Painful to step as well, no?
Pardon?
It's painful when you're walking.
Yes, correct. Yeah. You can't put any weight if you got it on your ankle or toe or the knee.
Yeah.
You can't put any weight, and the least little movement is like striking, daggering pains. That
Pins and needles,
the knee and foot.
Yeah.
It's a severe thing.
Yes, sir. I'm glad you're sharing that, because I think many times our foods, the things we consume, and I appreciate your time and your information, hopefully educating people and making them conscious that as they go to the doctors, maybe their blood test that they ask for, they understand why, and the uric acid as you reference. Before we take the other scheduled break, anything else you want to share with us, Mr. Raymond?
Yes, sir. Well, we had a nice, cool Christmas in Cayman Brac and the New Year. Never heard of any accidents. Looks like things went good, but regrettably, we lost one of our good seamen, Mr. Norris EBANKS. I know a lot of people from Grand Cayman used to go to his restaurant, house restaurant near White Bay, and get the local turtle meat dishes and all of that. So his funeral will be on the 12th of this month, I think, at West End Church. That's another great seaman that we lost from the island. And let's say We had a tribute done for him. I had a tribute done for him being a seafarer with one of the second biggest crane ships in the world passed by and had all the ocean lit up in the nighttime honoring Mr. Norris Ebanks.
Oh,
so
very nice.
Carried out by me.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's good to show that respect, and I know families and the communities appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for that, Mr. Raymond. All right.
Okay, well, good afternoon, and I wish you all the very best for the new year and all the listeners. And condolences to the family of Mr. Norris Ebanks and all of those who have passed away and been so sad around Christmas and the New Year.
Yes, sir. Yes,
terrible times, yes. Anyway, good luck until next time.
Thank you very much, sir. And as you tell us who on Channel 16, stand by. All right, take care, sir. With that, let's quickly pause. We'll come back, we'll take the WhatsApp call if it's still available. So join us after the break.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
The 7 a.m. Sports Report brought to you by Dr. Wayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
We give you honor and praise, adoration and glory.
Radio Cayman.
Praise time.
Praise him, praise him. Come and let's praise the Lord. Come and let's praise the Lord. Praise him in the morning and in the evening. Oh, let's praise the Lord.
Praise time in the morning.
Praise him, praise him.
Weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio Cayman, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my baby. Rock my soul in the blues of my baby.
Praise time.
I know he cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise him, praise him, praise him.
Praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thank you very much for joining us. And I think as Mr. Raymond felt late to share his perspective, I think he would want us to emphasize that he's not a medical doctor, and perhaps only from his own personal observations and experience. But as you said, if you have a gout or any other ailment, as you speak to your physician, ensure that you understand what you share with your physicians are in your best interest and what they share with you, that you understand what they're saying. And maybe in deference to the topic, perhaps he's implying that the body, the alkaline sort of setting as it was if your body was the machine that we think it is, would be helpful. And certain foods can throw us out of whack. So let's be careful. Not necessarily the implications of any particular product, but some could, contribute more and more intensely than others. Information is good. Let's be mindful of how we disseminate, but also how we interpret and apply. As we take this WhatsApp call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
Hey, good afternoon and Happy New Year to you, man.
Man, Happy New Year, sir.
Hope all is well with everything in your land.
Yeah, so far it all right, So far it all smooth,
Yeah.
Kicking off to a nice one, but sad to see that the roads not really any much safer at the moment.
What do we do about that, man? How do we address that? I mean, I want you to talk about whatever you wanted to talk about, but we need to do something about that.
Yeah, we do, and I think it very easy, because often I like to travel. I love carrying people around and helping others. And I tend to see a distraction from a peaceful drive to a very nerve-wracking drive, right? When you come across some individuals on the road. And, I observe that it's a lot of them, not to be very biased or anything, but a lot of the rental car companies that have cars out, I don't know if they're monitoring their drivers or what. I don't think you should be checking where people going or whatnot, but to be honest, with some of the qualifications maybe these people have is just as short as a new driver. So if you got a vehicle like a truck, you have to be 25 over to drive it. And I don't know if them type of things apply on rental cars. So I just saying that there's a slackness in drivers in rental vehicles, like as if there was a disregard in the law.
I'm reading one thing, right, as I respond to it. I want to share it with you because it's kind of interesting that the person messages and connecting the idea of rental cars, and I can weave it in. But as you talk, let's hear what you have to say, and then I can ask and add what this person also messages.
Yeah, okay, so for one example, I remember driving down. We driving down not West Bay Road, Walker's Road. And when you have the four-way stop, right, by the hospital. And I guess that's on Smith Road, going to Smith Road. And there's the stop and go thing where you have to wait if there's a person in the front of, or that comes before you, first come, first serve kind of way. And some people just rush to the line and don't stop and believe that that's all right. Like, it's not a give way really, right? It's a four-way. You have to make a full stop. And I believe a lot of the people that are in rental cars maybe are learners or just finished passing their driver's test, so they need a vehicle. And they disregard the laws as if they forgot it, just like how they write a message and don't remember what he said.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, well, they
don't hold the responsibility of owning a vehicle, same way how they don't have a responsibility of driving safe on the road. That's all I'm thinking about. That's just one set of people, because they have the other ones that own vehicles and they still disregard the road codes as well.
Well, this person is referencing that on rental cars, possibly here, but definitely in the States, so you have to be 25 or older to rent. And if not, they may not rent it to you, or you pay an on-the-age fee. And then it goes through a couple of the different companies that we recognize in the US that charge sometimes a high fee for that on-the-age being under 25, right?
Right.
And then the other question is to what extent the proliferation of rental car companies in Cayman are such that the inference, as I exchanged with the listener, the inference being that there are companies that may only have a trade and business license, but what about the insurance? How is that working out? Because there are a lot of rental cars or cars with stickers, and are they true rental cars, and what about the issue of liability? So
well, you finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I just was wondering if you asked. Right, I was saying with the insurance part, that you have insurance that you do for your personal things, and then they have the business, right? So is it that when you because we've noticed the trend of local renting now, right? You have locals that are renting cars. Before it used to just be like tourists coming on the island and they don't know where to go. Yeah, that used to be the excuse. Now you got people running businesses with rental cars. Is that something that is permitted with the use of the rental vehicle, just like how you have your personal vehicle doing personal things,
Yeah. So good question, right? Here is, as you said, I'm thinking back to our private motor vehicle insurance. It would probably, and I think my policy had said that, it probably still does. It's not for hire. This is for you doing your private business, going about your personal life and the like. It's not that you're gonna hire the car out or you conduct business. So if I'm hearing you correctly, someone rents a car but uses that as the work vehicle. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Is that covered? And then if it is, to what extent is it okay that you are, loosely speaking, you are in construction, so in this rental vehicle, while your personal vehicle is maybe unavailable, maybe you don't have it, whatever, you have your tools, or maybe you're an accountant and you're going to work and
no, that's not what I'm referring to, deliver car service type of thing. Now we're talking about people that travel on the road 10 times as much as people that have in their private vehicles.
So what about
back and forth, hustling, bustling? Remember, got 24 hours in a day.
Right. So let's compare the person as a delivery business, whatever that product that you're delivering, right?
Right.
To the individual, let's use maintenance, just generally service like thing. So you're in the service / maintenance, and your tools, whatever that is, you go into job site A to, and you got your tools there, your repairman, handyman, maintenance, AC tech, whatever, and then you go into job site B and different customer throughout the day. Would that be similar to your analogy with the delivery type business?
Not if you're like using it temporary. You got your vehicle in the garage, of course.
Okay.
Have some excuse, but you wouldn't be using a standard vehicle like a Honda Fit now doing that, because I've seen some vehicles like CRVs slam to the ground. Like, sir, I mean, I don't know how this is road legal when they're beyond capacity with equipment, and at the same time workers as well in the cargo.
Yeah.
So that's a road safety issue right there, violation, where with the vehicle being overweight, if it goes around a corner at 20 miles, now it might flip. You don't know. Got some people driving around with these vehicles for the car wash, and I won't complain about them, but at least they're using it for their business purpose, and they're not like carrying people around like how they have some that say no riders or something like this. It's on your own risk. It's your responsibility to be safe on the road. You know how to balance the vehicle, just like you see cranes on the road driving from destination to destination. So it comes with a sense of responsibility, and a lot of the things that we got going on here is irresponsible. We see it. We can't deny it. Anybody deny it, alienated to Cayman.
So I think what you're sharing is that we are seeing these things and we're just accepting as the norm, and it's becoming normalized. So the driving without a license for you, the driver, for the vehicle being licensed and insured and roadworthy, if we're accepting that, like you said, that's on us, right?
Right.
So why are we?
So that's on our MPs need to discuss now, because that's not my job. I'm not an authority, but they need people that understand and on the road at times too to see what's going on, and do not deny it. Seeing is believing, and believing is what you see, right?
Yeah.
Well, you see the recklessness going on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for sharing. I know we have a few minutes into that break, and I appreciate and respect you sharing. My apologies, but let's pause, and when we come back, let's keep talking. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Health City at Camana Bay is now open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, offering world-class emergency care whenever you need it. From minor injuries to life-threatening emergencies, our experienced team is ready to provide expert care around the clock. Conveniently located in the heart of Camana Bay, we're here for you and your loved ones, anytime, day or night. Health City at Camana Bay, 24/7 emergency services, because your health can't wait. Visit healthcitycaymanislands.com for more information. Health City, caring for you always.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for sharing with us. It is Open Line, and as Alejandro just shared with us earlier, on the roads alone, and the seemingly continued behavior of us as road users being almost willing, almost to the point where we don't see the cost nor the consequence, nor have no concern about enforcement or the like, and just use the roads as we choose. I think his implication is that that's an indictment on us, the individual, but also the society. And if that's what we are willing to accept, does legislation without enforcement making a difference? And is it only enforcement from the policing apparatus, so to speak? Is it societal enforcement? If your society has a norm that you doing something that runs afoul of the social norm, then you're sanctioned, however that is defined. Or if it's a society that says, oh, well, that's free for all, that's acceptable, it's no harm, no foul, no big deal. You go and you drive your car, doesn't matter if it's spewing all these pollutants, doesn't matter if it's properly licensed and insured, doesn't matter even if you know how to drive. If a society has devolved into accept that, is that not an indictment on all of us? Well, you would answer and let me know. 949-837 or 949-6990 or toll free at 1-800-534-8255. Of course, you can WhatsApp 925-3261. All right. If you're watching us on YouTube, you'll notice that I've put on these, kind of spectacles in order to read this WhatsApp message. So good afternoon, Mr. Sterling. I just wanted to share some thoughts on quote-unquote driving in Cayman. Driving fast is one thing. I do it all the time. But let's be clear, reckless driving is a real issue. That's what causes accidents, not speed alone. And let's not overlook the biggest danger of all, driving under the influence, whether it's alcohol or any other drug or anything that impairs judgment. If those choices that truly put lives at risk. The slogan "speed kills" oversimplifies the problem, creating a stereotype that blames speed itself. In reality, you can drive fast and still be safe if you're responsible and in control. Just saying. Another important issue to raise with our political representatives in relation to the grand plan of the road to 100,000 initiative and its implications for infrastructure, particularly roadways. How can we continue to increase the population when our current infrastructure is already struggling to support the existing load? This is particularly evident in the road network, which seems to be developing inefficiently. The approach appears to prioritize accommodating people without addressing how to effectively manage the increased strain on transportation systems. One potential solution is to explore vertical expansion of a road infrastructure. For instance, we could develop dedicated elevated lanes for east to west traffic, with strategically placed exits at key locations. This will help alleviate congestion and improve traffic flow, offering a more sustainable alternative to roundabouts, which have proven to act as bottlenecks rather than effective traffic mitigators. Additionally, pedestrian safety must be addressed with greater focus. Rather than installing more pedestrian crossings, which often contribute to accidents, we should invest in overpasses. This will provide a safe and more efficient option for pedestrians while minimizing interruptions to traffic flow. The root issue lies in bringing a significant number of new residents to Cayman without concurrently ensuring that our infrastructure, particularly the roads, can support the increased demand. Addressing these concerns proactively will be critical to achieving sustainable development. Thank you, listener, for taking time to write that and to send it to us. If anybody disagrees or find that there is something in there that doesn't make sense, or you have to explain it to me, that seems to be very timely and very wise. Let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, Mr. Dwayne.
Good to hear from you again today, man. How are you?
Yes, sir, man. I'm doing fine, man.
All right, man.
Still the same, but probably a little bit better.
What's that song? Still the same. Na, na, na. Protocol said, don't try that, boy.
No, don't say that.
Oh, hey, come on, man. It's Tuesday. This might be a new year now. I might find my voice, man.
Well, you never know. Well, you never know. You probably had it all a while, you know.
There you go. Karaoke, anyone?
Karaoke.
There you go, bro.
Couple shots and be just like Elvis, boy.
Is that Elvis McKeown? Elvis Anglin? Elvis EBANKS? Which Elvis?
That disappeared. Probably someone got mad.
Yeah, we asked some people, it's still right there. But anyway.
That one with the fancy guitar.
Yeah, I think Miss Norma or someone probably send down the team and say, listen, take that boy off air if he sings again.
She'll probably say that me first. The message you read that is very up to the time.
Yeah.
That is very considering what we're going through the infrastructure now, not making it for the population and all the rest of the things going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's very thing there. And yesterday when some lady called in OC show, she was talking about how Bermuda and this and that. I want to tell her thanks too for that information. And I don't know his name, the guy in the black David that always dealing with the ships. He just called him.
Mr. Raymond Scott. Mr. Raymond.
Yes, sir. Bless him up too with the information about the virus and things like that, because boy, we all need to keep an eye on what's going on around us, because we have so many people in and out of this place, right? In a moment, something again could break out again, like COVID, probably even worse, So. Right. So, but no, just one last thing, right? And I gotta leave you just the hippo style again now, right? You know who Benjamin Franklin is, right?
Yeah, well, we didn't play marbles together, so I don't really know him that well.
No, I don't think you're that old, man.
Oh, thank you.
You're hating him, probably hate the shame, but
you know what?
you're that old.
I know you to be a good man, so I gotta take that as a compliment. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You gotta be special how that they hate, right?
There you go.
So you know how he discovered electricity, right?
Tell me.
Right?
Yeah.
He went outside in the thunderstorm with a kite and a key strapped to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now you know your mama and your grandparents all them tell you say don't go out in the lightning storm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know he had to be on something to make him go out there and fly that kite in the sky with the key on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He had to have been on something, or he had to have things on him. But when you check it out, right, the history go, this man and certain other people, they used to smoke hash.
Mm-hmm.
They used to smoke ganja. So if it wasn't again for ganja reaching Benjamin Franklin, we would never have this electricity that we're fighting over. Not true?
I mean, there is, and I'll be mindful because I think anything can create within us potential for something negative, right? So I've not done much reading on it, right? And like psilocybin and other mushroom-like things can create sort of level of, I don't know if it's hallucinations or some other state, right? And I think if we're not mindful, we got to be careful that if we take what they call a trip, that journey, that is a place where from which we don't return, right?
You get stuck.
Yeah. No.
But the thing is that so many ideas, right? Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, all these people, they use this herb to get us where we are now. Now that it's illegal, you can see that the things has become stagnant. Almost a retardation type thing where it's going backwards. It's slowing the progress. Back in the days when you smoke, get high and laugh and act funny, people used to go and kind of have a will, a aim to what they wanted to achieve. No, you have none. We don't have none. It's all, superficial. They don't really mean what they say. And then just getting through to it, right, is that when you try to analyze what's going on, right, just ask yourself, what would your friend and my friend, what would Jesus do? You think Jesus would kick me out of the place for having some herb, or you think he would come and ask me for some?
Boy.
That's hard, right?
Well,
that's hard. It's logical.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you wanna pick that after the commercial break?
You want me to stay on?
If any other calls, my friend? No, if you want to. I mean, you.
Get deep down again, then we can go.
You know what? I think you deserve an audience, man. You stay on the line, all right?
All right.
We'll join this call after the break. Stay tuned.
Covering Cayman Bride. Cover me.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Jevi EBANKS. 3 individuals are scheduled to appear before the summary courts today, facing multiple charges related to drug and firearm offenses. Courtney Butch Miles, Chanel Andrea Cranston, and Eddie Marlon EBANKS are charged with conspiracy to import and supply a controlled substance, conspiracy to export a controlled drug, conspiracy to import firearms, firearm components, and ammunition. Additionally, Mr. Miles faces charges for misconduct in public office and importing a bulletproof vest without approval. In regional news, Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced on Monday that Energy Minister Stuart Young will succeed him as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. The announcement follows Rowley's resignation last week. The ruling PNM Party caucus supports Young's appointment. Rowley plans to resign before the end of his term in August. In the 2020 general election, the PNM won 22 out of the 41 seats. Young, a practicing attorney, was elected to Parliament in 2015, representing Port of Spain North and St. Anne's West. In Belize, Chief Justice Louise Blenman has announced Belize's first ever comprehensive sentencing guidelines. Developed as a part of the Senior Courts of Belize 3-year strategic plan, the guideline aims to promote consistency, transparency, and fairness in sentencing across the criminal justice system. The initiative marks a significant milestone in the ongoing transformation of Belize's criminal justice system. That is your latest headlines. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Alfred Berman Scott, 1914 to 1989. Alfred Scott was schooled in Jamaica and went to sea as a young man, and then to Panama, where he worked on the canal. When he returned home to Cayman Brac, he worked as a contractor and manufacturer of concrete blocks made on a homemade machine, floor tiles and aggregate. He served in the Legislative Assembly in the early 1970s, representing Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, and was a Baptist preacher for a number of years. He was a philanthropist who was widely loved and respected. Mr. Scott, who was married to Miss Alta Aurelia Henderson, was a model husband and father who raised 12 outstanding citizens. Another son died at an early age.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And thanks very much for hanging on. You still there, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, a couple of things, right? I like to learn. I can tell you straight up that I don't know much. And I certainly always careful that, when I ask questions, it's not in a way that improper, but it's always about, learning, understanding, right? So we gotta try to avoid a rabbit hole, but take me where you go, and let's pretend that we're sailing. Let's stay to the doldrums, but let's see if we can find some, good weather, because we might need a tack. All right.
Yes. Well, you see right there, right there, that make you a step ahead of everybody else. Understanding that you still have much to learn.
Yeah.
You understand? Enough people, they grow now and they believe they know everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear this now for a minute. Ask them, right, how jealous they is that it only take a click, right, or a couple sentences, and I can I can find out almost everything you learn in your 65 years
Mm-hmm.
in probably about 5 minutes on the phone.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right.
Think how jealous or how mad you must be. You understand?
But here's something that I question often, right? And now I probably how do I put it this way? I just say, being in my formative years when the late President Jimmy Carter was in office, I thought there was something spectacular about the man, right? Realizing now that I'm still very young, intellectually, academically, maturity in every which way, and there was something about him. Also understanding that I want to know about him from what I see in this, what we would now call the media today, right, in news. And when Reagan was coming in, I thought, hey, that's a charismatic guy, pretty cool dude. But there seemed to be something at play that I thought did make sense. And as the decades passed, I go, oh, okay, that's what it was. We create a narrative to make someone look good in order for someone to look bad. In order for this thing to happen, we need to undo this and undermine it, whichever. And that's why I don't like the party system in politics, why I think that we've divided our societies along everything. People listening going, well, where is he going with this? I emphasize that we should share drugs. We should include alcohol, tobacco, and any and every drug, right? But people like to say, oh, drugs and alcohol. No, alcohol is a drug, right?
All is a drug.
And we have acknowledged and accepted that alcohol plays a key role in almost any and every celebration for almost everyone on every occasion, from the birthday to the graduation to the anniversary to even toasting a person's passing or celebrating their memory, right?
Yeah.
I had a good friend, and I gotta highlight him. He would serve as a bartender and would tell you that in some households, the young children, hear me now, not just that child who is near 18 or just slightly beyond, but the child who is probably not even a teenager yet, is allowed to freely, in the presence of the parents, grandparents, and other supervising adults, to consume alcohol and strong alcohol in large quantities. Now, if that is, and this is not just in other parts of the world, we're talking about on Grand Cayman. I'm not even going to mention Sister Helens, right? I'm not going to chastise people for that, leave that for others at this time, right? But the thing is, if we see alcohol as this thing that is okay, one of the former British commissioners of police had shared that we need to make sure that we get to a place where we do not allow drinking and driving to become accepted, an acceptable social norm, right? And I had to go, well, is that really what it is? I mean, is that a question, right? Back to society's view of certain things. Mr. Rupert, of blessed memory, would call always and say to us, why are we allowing the littering, whether it's at Barkas or in the center of town? We didn't seem to take on board what he was sharing. If we allow our society to say it's okay to drive on the roads, we do. If we allow our society to say it's acceptable to have a drink, doesn't matter how much. And now, to your point, if we're looking at ganja, marijuana, cannabis, however we want to term it, it seems that it has an easier fall on our ears if we use a certain terminology, right?
Yes.
But if we are taking something in our system by whatever means and that thing affects us, take coffee, right? And good strong coffee with lots of caffeine can give you a jolt. It could probably make you jittery.
Yep.
If you don't have it for a period of time, you probably have withdrawal symptoms, to use an easier way for us to understand it.
Yep.
Is that a drug on our bodies? Is that affecting us in a certain way, right? So specifically now with the use of ganja, we're now seemingly forced in the country to go to a referendum to decide whether we're going to, was it decriminalize it or something? And this is not intended to offend. If anybody feels offended, come talk to me, right? But have we done sufficient education on what is it we're trying to achieve? Do we understand the difference? And if there is one, is it significant between legalizing the thing and decriminalizing it? Are we putting discretion in the hands of some that may be to the detriment of others? Are we acknowledging that this thing could affect us in a negative way if, say, consumed at 18 versus 25, for argument's sake, right? Are there benefits to doing it this way versus, not extracting as much of the positive, if there are any, if we don't do it this way? You, I think, and if I'm not, putting words in your mouth, if I am, you let me know, have shared and have inferred from what you shared that there's an issue of quality control. If we grow it, can we use it for other things? Can we ensure that that thing that is eventually in the hands of the consumer, whether it's personal use or commercial purposes, is of the highest quality? Very much like the foods that are sold in the supermarkets or served in the restaurants, right?
Yep.
I look, again, very briefly, not exhaustively, and not with any great knowledge, program that the state of California employed called Towards Tobacco 21, where they raised the age. They did an educational campaign. They found as a result of their sort of studies that health benefits were there, health costs came down, productivity levels increased, absenteeism at work decreased, all sort of positive things. And then the amount of people who started smoking reduced, the age at which they started increased, and all sorts of things, right? Why don't we look at this, and instead of being political expedient, being pundits who have little between the ears, and as a people who are unwilling to hold us accountable because we ourselves are unwilling to be responsible, what is it going to take, my friend?
Well, what is it going to take is you see, like I said, we're not disrespecting, we're not thing like that. It's
right.
The people that grew up believing what they were told about ganja.
Yeah, we're losing you for a second though, bro, right? It's crackling a bit.
All right.
I hope that's not,
Hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, sorry. The people back in the days, when they were told about ganja, they believe it, right? And they did so much wrong to people, right? Like they discriminated and they had biases against people with ganja for so long that when the science come out and they read that they actually are wrong in what they're doing, they came so far that it's too far now for them to say, well, I'm sorry, or, they won't admit that they're wrong. They're in their beliefs. No joke. And you can believe anything you want to believe, right? But when it comes to the science and the facts, you have to at least have the acknowledgement that you're not special. You are not what it proclaims to be. Like what the information you gained back in the days about ganja, it is not what it was, because we're always advancing. We're always taking note of what this and that does, and now you won't acknowledge that. Right. Now that is where we stuck at the retardation type thing. You understand? Because we won't move forward.
I hear you, but here's the thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Back to what you had sort of started to put on the table initially. You can take in 5 minutes and maybe learn what somebody has taken 65 years, right? Back to the notion of Carter and Reagan. Reagan would talk about trust but verify. This use of the internet, there's so much stupidness out there. I think some is deliberate. They put out there to, and not by people, by the authorities, so to speak, to change the narrative, to misinform, and to deliberately deny access to quality, accurate information, right? And I've been told, even in the Bible, and its revised editions and the new updates to the same version, little words have been taken out and little things have been added, and I can't tell you, because I'm not a scholar in that arena, that is making it any better, that's more accurate. But if we jump online and we look at something and it's not accurate, we come away less informed. Let's be deliberate and specific, more ignorant, right?
Yes, you would. Yes, you would. But that's the thing now with the internet, right? You got so much different. You got so many different doors that you could open and find not only the answer that you want or what you're looking for, but you can find the real, actual answer.
Yeah.
Right, but when you're talking to somebody that they got the information locked inside, they try to, you know, water it down a little bit.
Yeah.
They don't try to tell you the true exact truth.
Right. But let's invite you to one thing, right? Let's take no, I'm not gonna name drop. Let's take a couple of individuals of prominence.
Yes.
Who have, because of their academic published peer-reviewed research, because of their appointed or elected positions in governments, let's say the US, UK, and Canada. Let's limit. Well, actually, let's throw in a couple of the countries in Europe, and they have said, "Wait a minute now, this thing from this place, we need to kind of check that out, make sure that's good." If they get maligned, if they get allegedly chastised and threatened of licensure and sanction and the like, right? And let's say, as again the media presumably sent out, the WHO, right?
Yeah.
Says, we need to make sure that whatever comes out is this, but it's a narrative crafted to suit their purposes. If you have a significantly influential entity that, or individual that controls a significant market share or internet access, and they decide that they're going to use AI, for argument's sake, to limit what you can and see or how you see it, what does that do for knowledge and accuracy, right? You ever looked at a book? I still like books. I'm glad that, unlike what Ray Bradbury may have published in Fahrenheit 451, we don't burn them. We actually have them, and we can go back to the original text. You ever see new versions of it have a slight little change on it?
Yeah, certain words. I mean, like it made more robotic.
Yeah.
I understand what you're trying to say, man.
Yeah, man. And it's that unwillingness to trust but verify. It's that lack of courage in society amongst its most respected and revered,
Well, yeah, you can say that with certain things, Mr. Dwayne.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to the ganja, right, it's kind of locked in there that this thing has been with us for all our lives because we have something in our system called the cannabinoid system, right? And that is mainly for connecting with the CBDs and the THCs in this plant. Like when you got a phone and the charger don't work, you got to go find the exact charger. You know what I mean? To charge our phone. This is the thing. Alcohol don't have no receptors in our brain that, they really stated. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have nothing pinpointed in our system to take in alcohol. They don't have nothing in us like that. But we have it that we're almost engineered for ganja. Now, when you're denying my body, my soul, my presence, these type of things, and you come all this way, you know it, and you still deny it. And the only reason you can come to say, right, why you denying me these things is because of the youths that are coming after me, right? So what you're trying to say really is that you're trying to get us that we don't have no control over what we intake at all. Meaning, this is, like when you have a fall, a fail, when you're testing a drug on a rat, rat dead, go get a new rat.
Yeah.
Right? This is what they're trying to persuade into us, that this ganja, it don't make sense because you're not going to get nowhere, and we're going to make sure you don't get nowhere. It's best that you get drunk.
Yeah. Let me read this to you.
Yes, sir, read it.
One of our listeners says, this is mostly an emotive discussion instead of an informed debate. Weed, ganja, etc. is a psychotropic drug, a dangerous drug. Florida voted last month to not allow small amounts for personal public smoking of ganja, right? And sends us a link to the, Florida voters reject a ballot initiative to legalize recreational marijuana, right?
Yeah, well, the reason why they didn't vote on that was because it was a trick in that vote or that bill that they were trying to pass. It says, yeah, it decriminalized, but you're not gonna be able to grow it. The big pharmaceuticals would be able to grow it. So the ganja voters now, they were like, that's not going to work.
But,
I want to grow my own thing.
yeah.
I don't want nothing from, you understand, Tylenol or something like that. I don't want nobody to my thing. I want to grow it. So they voted no.
Yeah.
Right? It's nothing about they thought it dangerous or anything like that. It's that the things in the bill, the writings of the bill.
Right. And this is where I'm inclined to.
So wait a minute. If they were drunk now,
Yeah.
and they didn't read the bill, they would have probably voted for it.
Right.
But because we sit down, we smoke, and we read the whole thing probably about 3-4 times, and we vote, this will benefit me. I vote no.
So if I'm hearing you,
About they think it's dangerous, but they voted it no. So I tell that person there, try to read that again.
yeah. And again, this is where the reporting, whether it's the established, supposed credible media, or whether it's somebody else, we need to make sure that what we're doing is timely and accurate, right?
Yeah. Like you heard me call for a debate, right?
Yeah.
From long time, I asked anybody willing to step up against me.
Yeah.
I'm willing to take it to the shore or the iron shore, any which way you want to go. You can go Stingray City and debate this thing if you want. I am ready because I already know that anything they go and bring up to me would be false.
Yeah.
If they say it's dangerous, name somebody that died off of ganja. Name somebody that died off of ganja, and I will definitely stop calling here. I will definitely give you the right to go and drink or I won't say nothing no more. I was just thinking it.
Let me ask you, right? And again, I'm hoping that as people listening, and it's my intent that it's not promoting it.
No, I'm not.
But also, I want us to appreciate that there can be negative consequences to the use, overuse, or abuse of anything, right?
Anything. Sugar.
Well, I think that's a drug. I mean, I've always believed that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, if that's not a legal or medical accurate term, then certainly tell me. But you see how sugar can affect any of us, right? And one of our listeners says, we need to commend you, man. Even Alejandro weighs in and says, you got this, But your call for a discussion, let me then ask, is it that the politicians, whether that's those who are elected now before or who want to get in there, believing that this may resonate with the populace, so they want to bring it forward without sufficient investigation and interrogation and education and all the things? And on the same side of that, on the other side of that coin, are there, again, politicians and the like, who know that there's a segment of society who want nothing to do this? They're not going to look at it from any potential positive benefit, and they're going to keep it down, as opposed to what I hear you saying, let's figure this thing out, let's see what we can do, is there any merit to it, and if we do it, this is how we should do it. Is that one of the dangers we have? We're divided even without recognizing that we're not even willing to listen to each other and to see if there's anything good in it.
Right. Yes, sir. They have an incentive, and they probably getting paid. Anybody that disagreeing with me, they probably getting, or they know something about it.
Yeah.
You understand?
I want to
benefiting round in their circle.
Yeah, I want to ask you, and I don't wish to be exhaustive in this, right? Maybe not continue further, but
Mr. DWAYNE, make me hear this.
I've heard it from a number of people, and I'm not going to categorize them, but they were sufficiently positioned to know, and what they shared has caused me to look closely. That there is, no pun intended, okay, there's growing concern that some of the product, whether it's out of Canada or out of Jamaica, that whether it's laced with formaldehyde, either as a preservative, whether the crops were sprayed because of enforcement, and then they went in and quote-unquote harvested what was there and just shipped it off, or whatever the reason, to throw the dogs and the police office sent, whatever, that product then ends up in the hands of consumers, and the consumer unknowingly then uses this thing, and it creates ill effects that would go beyond the natural product in its natural state. Is there any truth from your ear to the ground in the populace of that being a consequence in Cayman, that somebody having a ganja spliff or cigarette or however it's used being more harmful than it would because of added whether formaldehyde or other things in it?
Well, I gotta show you something now, son. Some people brain, when you smoke that, you can't take it.
Okay.
You just can't take it, whether you have formaldehyde or whatever on it or not.
Okay.
Your brain just can't handle it,
Mm-hmm.
right? The operation, I think it calls, man. The knowledge that you would have jumped. Like say, I got really high now, and I put myself in your shoes, and I couldn't take what you were going through. It make me trip out, right? Those certain type of things happens with marijuana. I'm not gonna lie. That really does happen when people's brain are too soft. They don't know how to, they don't know how to deal with, say they want a bowl of rice.
Right.
They don't know how to go and jump and get the bowl of rice. Or they don't know how to farm and plant the bowl of rice. The ganja will smoke, getting the knowledge to grow and know what to do, how to do this, how to go and learn with somebody how to grow the rice. The other people, they with their brain too soft, they will sit down and they will pray for rice.
Yeah. Let me
And they would expect the rice to come when they open their eyes. Every time they open their eyes after they pray, they would expect the bowl of rice to come to them.
Right.
That is a soft type of brain mentality that cannot handle reality, because ganja brings you back to reality.
Okay.
Alcohol will put you in a state of mind that you are not in reality.
All right. Now that sounds, medical and biological and probably beyond my scope here. But let me read these two things. One listener says, in terms of quality control, is the more reason that we should grow it locally, right?
Yes.
Another listener says, anything that alters the natural state of a mind is a drug, ganja included. Plenty of people have died from the misuse of any substance. If you smoke weed from a young age, it fries your brain and you end up permanently mentally challenged. Or rather, okay. So
They don't have no proof of that.
Okay.
They don't have no scientific proof. All that is what you call rumors. We don't entertain rumors here in the ganja thing like that. We see what we know. The way he said, really, anything that alters the mind is dangerous.
Is a drug in ganja. Yeah. So, but
All right. So you know how many music artists has altered the minds of certain people? Do you know how many people's mind has been altered by the book of the Bible? When you read certain things in the Bible, our mind get altered and say, I got to get up and kill somebody, or redemption is coming.
Well,
so that would be a drug also.
Yeah. With music, I've heard it said, music does need permission to enter your mind, right?
Okay.
And I'm convinced that little song that we used to sing, be careful, little eyes, what you see, and ears, what you hear, and that, we need to be very conscious of what we put on our skin.
Yeah.
Right? We need to be very conscious as to what we consume and ingest into our bodies, but also what we allow ourselves to watch, to see, to hear.
Yeah.
Right? You exercising, you got on a good calypso, you probably got to feel motivated, apparently aside, I think Sparrow is much better, and they bring you that tune, you might want to move to that groove a little bit better, right?
Yeah, that's a mind altering type of thing, right?
A Baramanala song is probably a lullaby, right? But end of the day, if we allow ourselves to be constantly bombarded by negativity, by music that is destroying the soul without us consciously aware of it, I think it's akin to us ingesting something. So did you not hear growing up, caffeine will stunt your growth, don't give it to young children?
Yes,
I can't tell if that's true or not, right? But we weren't allowed to drink it when we were children, right? Children drink it now.
People drink it now.
Right.
Children drink it now. Even starting 3 years old, they're having big cans of, the soda there.
Yeah.
They won't say nothing about that. Sugar will alter the mind. When you get that sweet tooth, when you get that craving, that's a mind altering thing like that. So that's what, right? That's what they can try and find every angle they can find, but it's nothing they can do. So now that they found that they don't have no argument, right? Like, they could debate and win, or they could actually be fair. No, they can't do that, so they wouldn't even bother. You know what they do? They pull out the lawyer and they pull out the gun them. I'm going to shoot you if you got 5 pounds of ganja, or if you're coming on a boat full of ganja. I'm going to expect you to be violent, and you're a drug dealer, and this and that.
Yeah.
So when you have, right, this type of mentality, oh, I can't win with you, so let me kill you. And not only like that with the gun, but let me put you in jail. So now you can't leave here, so I got you every time, and locking you up. I know this and that.
Yeah, man.
Now they're building another prison. Who you think the prison for? The prison is for our children now to come now again now, right? So you're really entertaining this thing about what they used to call apartheid and these type of discrimination type of things. You're really entertaining it. And when they talk, when going back to yesterday, but I just gonna say, when they say these young punks, they better do what we say. You know what she meaning? She meaning you better make sure you keep us back in our day. And we could slander and procrastinate and accuse black people.
No, you mean castigate. Yeah.
Not her, no. I'm not saying her, no.
Yeah.
I never say her. I saying the mentality back in the days. You know when I talking about when the Jamaican walk through the sand yard, they take the shovel and they shovel up the footprints. They want to make sure that type of days stays always. Now that mentality, we have to not burn them out, but we have to try to sway them. And you can't. It's the hardest thing to do to liberate a comfortable slave. It's the hardest thing to do. When you're comfortable in your ways of your master, you're gonna think your master is your friend, but your master is not your friend. He does not consider you one of them. You will never be one of them, and that's the hardest thing for them to understand. That's why they get drunk, because they can't go sleep. They can't go sleep. Ask them to go pop a painkiller and take a shot of whiskey and watch how fast they go sleep. Me, I can go sleep because I don't have no bones. I don't have nothing in my. I don't have no crosses on me. I don't have no X's on me. Didn't do wrong to anybody. I grew up living this life on how I believe is that I must do unto others as I would have them do unto me.
Yeah, man.
Right. So if you want to stagnate my growth, not only my growth, but my children and my children's to come.
Yeah. Well, let me.
You have a problem, and I have a right to defend myself, whether it be physical, mental, or biological.
Yeah. Let me ask you one final question before we take the break, right?
Yes.
And I appreciate your time. And do you think that at this present moment, that having a referendum on that is the best use of time, best timing, or do we need to have more education before some sort of referendum or policy initiative? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I say, I'm honest. I believe you should have a little pamphlet, right? About history about ganja before the referendum. Don't just go out there and have that out there. But I guarantee you, once we get the pamphlet out there and the information out there to everybody, right? The next referendum or the one that they think the next one, if it was coming to me, I would bring that you would also have to legalize, but you would also have to pay reparations for all the causes, and that would include all the members of the government for the last 30 or 70 years and their families and their voters to pay back for all the people that have died, all the people that have lost their jobs, all the people that have lost, the connectivity with each other just through being divided through their little mind games. Because they think that they can just, we can get away with this and we got them drinking alcohol that they did. They believe they're going to get away with that. Now, if they're going to get away from us, okay. But guess what? Jaja have a seat somewhere for you. And it's not going to be pretty. It might be a bed of thorns, or like what we say, it might be some, something slimy.
Yeah, man.
And as you heard me say, I believe that it should have been more education, and it shouldn't just take me. If the government and the church were doing what they're supposed to do, right, we wouldn't have these social problems or these social divided problems, because they would know that they have to do what's right. What's right is not letting me drink myself to death. When you're at the bar, you can order enough drinks as you want.
Yeah, man.
You can drink till you did.
Well, it can, yeah. Listen, thank you for the extended time, right?
No. Thank you, because as I understand from my growing up, my vote, my presence here on this island, worth nothing. Only to you and the listeners on this radio show, and even the DJ, bless them up. They consider me, or they consider me having some value in this time of life. Thank you very much for that.
You're most welcome. And as you leave, I share with you, I'm prayerful that our society will stop dismissing and devaluing our own, and even if our views differ, let us not allow it to divide us. You the individual, is as much valued and appreciated and worthy of recognition, reward, and respect as somebody else that we elevate. Maybe I'll say more in a minute, and hopefully that'll inflame a couple of people to start to look and appreciate that we are so disrespectful sometimes that we don't even realize it. But thank you for sharing. Hopefully I have not been disrespectful to you, but others too will look at it and be cemented in their views, or be willing to open their eyes and learn, so that we can either champion something new or defend what we believe from an informed, respectable perspective. Join us after this break.
Dear Jamal, happy holidays. Hope you enjoyed this fishing rod I got you for Christmas. I know fishing isn't your thing, but hey, I really wanted a chance to win 100,000 True Blue points. Merry Christmas.
Gifts for them, getaways for you. This holiday season, get a chance to win 100,000 True Blue points when you spend $100 or more with your JetBlue card by CIBC Caribbean. Use your card today, and you might fly very soon with JetBlue. Terms and conditions at www.cibcfcib.com/JetBlueGetaways.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just the delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Hey, welcome back. And as I was doing a break, looking at something that someone was sharing, I want to maybe share that with us if we so choose. Hey, 949-8037, 949-6990. There's the Flow toll-free line. I think it works, right, Paul? He said, yeah, we paid the bill. That's a free line. 1-800-534-TALK. I want you to use that for this program as well as our buzz and as you do with Mr. Art on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, and who knows when else. In the mornings, as you join Mr. Art for the record. 1-800-534-8255. You can WhatsApp call 925-3261. Any calls in the queue? None? Want to give away a prize? Hey, let's do that. Are you in the mood for food? Alright, so there's this new cafe. I don't know if you heard about it. Sweet and Savory. A young, dynamic couple right across, right from the Georgetown Hospital. Sweet and Savory. Always good to highlight, young entrepreneurs, restaurateurs. We should constantly support and encourage and nurture and do what we can. Young Diego from D's Pizza had come in one day, and I thought, hey, here's a fellow with his training and putting it to use. We were glad that he could join us. Maybe one day, Sam Machine could do the same. But Sweet and Savory, if you would accept, I will offer you. Paul, what do you think? $25? Okay, they do good foods. I've had some stuff, so if you want a little breakfast, try some of their other stuff. I think $25 is a good little thing. You'll go across there, I'll get your name and particulars. You'll go there and you'll tell them, and you come in, they'll know because you told me, and I'll tell them, and you can enjoy it. Compliments of Talk Today. Radio Came On and Talk Today, I'll pay for it. That's not vote buy-in, that's an influencing, that's just a way to show love and respect. So, we're going to figure out how to get that to and how to get that to somebody. And we're going to sow good seed into the entrepreneur spirit. We're going to invest into their success. And we're going to say thank you for listening. So, Paul going to tell me who we're going to give it to. Right, Paul? And if Susan was here, it wouldn't be a problem. We would share. All right. So, that's $25. You can use it at Sweet and Savory. I'll make sure that we'll do it. Now, we're going to take this call? All right, let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
It's only me.
It's only you?
New Year.
Happy New Year.
How are you?
I am great. How about you?
I'm great.
Good to hear from you, man. I hope you had a very peaceful and safe and enjoyable Christmas, and that this new year will bring a renewed strength of love and honor and integrity and, all the good stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. So what's on your mind? Talk to me.
You're giving away something, so
I intend to give away something,
Yes.
What am I giving away?
So much. A gift certificate.
No, not quite, See, you got most of it. I'm going to give away an opportunity because I don't have the gift certificate. The hand just reached out to him, and I went there and I got some of the thing. I thought, man, it's good to see people trying to make a thing, right? And they're working hard, and if we can invest in them by sharing of our time, talent, and treasure, and I don't think I need permission. It's my money.
Of course.
It's $25. That's all it is. That's all I can afford right now. Because but we'll give it away. We haven't decided yet how we're gonna do. So you calling for it?
Yeah.
Oh well, you need to persuade me because I wasn't ready yet to give it away, But
I'm a good girl in the classroom, so.
Well, maybe Paul say looking for not so. Nah, let me behave myself. All right, not just yet, but you might get it soon. Though, who knows, right?
You gonna ask a question?
I hadn't even decided yet what we're gonna do, man. You
I just give it away. It's New Year.
give it. No, man. Yeah. It's not like that song. Just give it away.
First come, first serve.
No. What the scripture says, last should be first and first should be last. Let the greatest among them be the first to serve. Something like that. Yeah, man.
Come on.
I'll tell you what my friends say. She might be cheap, but she's not easy. Or she might be easy, but not cheap. I don't know how that go. No, man. Sometimes you gotta work before you get paid. Life is about reward and recognition, but it's also about respect and responsibility. Not true? All right. Talk to me. What else you want to tell me? If that's what it is, then we gotta play this a little bit better. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But we might give you 2 or 3. We might give you 2 or 3 over the next couple of days. You know, I want to.
Oh, you haven't given? Okay.
I haven't given it out yet, but we will. We will. It's kind of, you know, you gotta wait for that bell, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Paul is still deciding what's the best way to do it, and so once he whispers and tells me, we gotta do it.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But this is for $25 for sweet and savory down by In fact, I know you. I'm sure you, not just you personal, but anybody's go across there and says, "Hey, I heard."
Where it's located?
It's right. I call it across the parking lot from the Georgetown Hospital.
Okay.
That new building there.
Mm-hmm.
Their signage faces. Would that be east? Faces the Georgetown Hospital entrance.
Yeah.
So when you're driving in, carefully look to your right. You'll see the building. It's right there. Called Sweet and Savory, and I mean, any and every entity, our friends over Reflections, you know, gives us we happy. So we want to do this for them. All right.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks. But anybody goes across though, and tell me you heard it on, they give you a 10%. How about that? I'll see if they do that. But you gotta say you heard it on Talk Today. We have another call, Mr. B? No? All right, yeah, man. I believe that when we invest in others, a friend of mine sometime back said, stop saying sacrifice. You know, we used to sacrifice. Our parents sacrificed for us. And I thought, well, that's what we did. And he said, let's use the word investment. We're going to invest our time, we're going to invest our talent, our treasure into the lives of others, because a sacrifice is a cost, right? It's usually seen as negative. We're giving up. But an investment is a return. We're getting something back. So let's invest in others. So when we consciously, as consumers, go into a business to make a purchase, we're buying a service, a product, then that's key. And good follows good, my mama says. Let's take this WhatsApp call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, Mr. Sterling, me again.
Hey, me again. Welcome back.
Yeah, you know, I was listening about the little conversation with the other caller. I heard you ask about the decriminalization and legalization and differences and things, right?
Right.
And one thing I think I remember sometime last year, we talked about the 3 stages, like they have illegal, then there's illegal with enforcement, and then there's legal. But the decriminalization is the illegal with enforcement stage, in my opinion, from what I've collected, because it still doesn't tell you who is going to be our supplier, who's going to be able to grow with the license to sell. You know?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to put that out because the discussion is very, very translucent.
Okay. Yeah. I hear you, and that's a growing concern. I mean, at what point, and lawyers have shared that there's a distinct difference between something that is legalized and something that's decriminalized.
Yep.
And just generally, very loosely, if we don't understand the distinction, and if the difference is so significant that it could cause not just discretion in the hands of some, but a negative consequence for a chosen set, are we really doing anything other than lip service, right? And are we creating more problems?
Right, it might be creating more problems because at the moment what's going on, the most dangerous thing about marijuana, especially here in the Cayman Islands, is the police catching you for smoking it or having it. And if you just take the aspect of it's not going to be a crime if you have it, it still does not make it legal. So decriminalization, we should skip that process. Say, if you want to put some sort of enforcement, legalize it for us to know what we can and cannot do, because it doesn't make it any sense if you can tell us what we can't do. And we don't have no other way, you know?
So let me then ask, not just you specifically, you're more than willing to give me your opinion if you wish, but I would like others to wait. From what I've come to understand from many in our communities from a wide cross section, it would appear that the use of ganja at a public beach, at the sandbar, at events, in the parking lot, the person taking a smoking break, just generally, it would appear that there is a growing acceptance of it.
Yeah.
There is a willingness by all of us, from the on-duty police officer to the medical professional to the co-worker, to even the parent, right? To just turn a blind eye and say no harm, no foul. Now, is that true from your perspective, if you wish to answer?
Well, I've been listening to the caller before, was talking about how the elders looking at us now and saying, you know, you guys might be right. What I'm saying is, I think that they should allow us to have a discussion, like a debate, if like how they're doing with the cruise port referendum thing.
Yeah.
I clearly don't see any reason for them to do the cruise port, but I don't want to get myself involved in that because I'm not into the tourism. If there's anything tourism, it is the ganja tourism, marijuana tourism, something that I know something about, just like how they have Sting Resida tours.
Yeah.
People know about these things.
Well,
I'll go out there and do Sting Resida tours, although I know Sting Resida, but I don't know it like that.
I'll weigh in on you and I'll say, like those two, I don't think we should have a debate, right?
Yeah.
What we should have is, as best as possible, factual dissemination of information to educate. So when you have a debate, by its implications, you got a pro and a con. You got a one side opposing, one side proposing, and what you have is the loudest voice, or the voice that has the greatest influence or whatever, beating up on the other one, and that's the outcome, right? So when we have things that are conflicted, or things, let's say the cruise port, for instance, you have, well, boy, you need to have the cargo because you don't want to not be able to get food.
Right.
That, and somebody else included, in order to get this, you get that. You might want this thing, but you don't have a choice, right? If, as the caller before you alleged, if in Florida they rejected it because, as he alleged, wait a minute, we want to grow it ourselves. If we got to get it from the pharmaceuticals or get it from here, then no, we'd rather go without. We need to make sure, for once and for all, that we do it respectfully and responsibly and sensibly, right? So if we're going to do something, let's stop turning a blind eye. If something is illegal, let's make sure there's enforcement. But not just police enforcement, societal enforcement. And here's the other part of that, right? If I may ask you, if we're looking at any drug, ganja included, whether you call it cannabis, marijuana, weed, whatever it is you're calling it, are there potentially any ill effects? Are those ill effects worse because of your age and the development of your brain and other, parts of your body, right? Is it like any other drug, whether prescribed or over the counter, whether it's an alcoholic beverage or otherwise, that if you consume it, does it cause you to be impaired? Your judgment, your sense of sort of responsiveness, does it affect you in a way that may cause you to respond in a particular way? Does it make you sleepy? Does it make you agitated? Does it make you distracted? All these things, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know that we know enough about this thing. I think should have learned from the use and abuse of alcohol to not to repeat. I don't believe that the drinking age should be 18, maybe 21.
Right.
Maybe as the
21.
the medical professionals have said, 25 because of your body, your organs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but
well,
yeah.
To answer that question, to be honest with you,
Mhm.
it's just like waking up and having a cup of coffee. I heard one day Mr. Orrit saying
Mhm.
about he don't understand why people got be first thing in the morning with a split in their mouth.
Mhm.
But if you don't realize that you have some people can't wake up in the morning good unless they got coffee to their head too.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I personally know that the two combined works out great for me because I really got a lot of energy in it, but I like the coffee, but I need something to keep me down too.
Yeah.
So
man.
it balances. It doesn't, and it helps you cope. It helps you cope with the reality you don't like.
Yeah, man.
The reality that you don't like, sir, because we have a lot of things that we see that would give people outrage in public to say, like road rage, for example. And then when you think about it, the people that let it pass, they're thinking in their head, I wish I could flip out on them, but they know better than that.
Yeah. Well, my friend.
Marijuana puts in for me to think before I do things.
Yeah. Well, it's something that I think, like everything, my friend, respectfully let us take our news break. Don't, feel otherwise than I have a sense of respect for your contribution to our listeners' call. We're going to do two things, right? $25 to Sweet and Savory. And we're going to say, hey, 10% off. You go there and tell them you say you heard it here on Talk Today. I'm sure they'll do that for you. All right. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments January 6th to the 9th at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited whether you're seeking advanced skin care, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles. Dr. Wayne Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email Dr. Porter Cayman at gmail.com. That's drportercayman@gmail.com. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That's 946-9020.
At the Family Resource Center, we recognize the growing concern with healthy and safe digital use for children. Parenting the Digitally Safe Child, a 4-week workshop, is designed for parents and caregivers who want to learn more about healthy screen use and how to keep their children and teens safe on all platforms. National Drug Council and others will guest speak to enhance parents' learning. Starting January 10th at 12 to 1 p.m. on Zoom. Contact Family Resource Center at frc@gov.ky to reserve your spot for this free service.
Yesterday,
today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
33-year-old Wayne Belafonte Jr. is set to learn his fate this week following his conviction for murder last year. Belafonte was found guilty last year of the double murder of 36-year-old Mark-Andre Ebanks and 55-year-old Eldon Charles Watson outside the Globe Bar in Georgetown on July 1st of 2021. Good afternoon. I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, the body of Jimmy Carter is being taken from his home state of Georgia to Washington, D.C., where the former U.S. president will lie in state before a large state funeral. Carter died on December 29th, aged 100, in his hometown of Plains, Georgia. And the bodies of 2 people were found in a landing gear compartment of a JetBlue plane at the Fort Lauderdale Airport in Florida, according to the company. The 2 deceased people were found during a routine inspection on Monday night after the plane landed. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
You can now renew your driver's license or motor vehicle license online, and you don't need an ESID number. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Visit www.dvdl.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We've got a call. Do we take the call? Yeah, let's take the call. We like and love our listeners and respect and appreciate. So let's take this call. Welcome. Thank you for sharing.
Happy New Year, Sterling. Happy New Year to the Radio Cayman family.
Hey, Happy New Year, man. I don't usually talk at the school. I tried giving you a ring earlier, and I don't know if it's my phone because I had some issues with it.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so if you don't see a missed call from me, it's not because I didn't place one. If you see one,
yeah,
then because I called you. But
I'll reserve my comments on why call Paula didn't go through.
There you go, man.
We'll leave it there.
All right, man. Well, Happy New Year, man. Good to hear from you. I'm glad that you could call us.
You're listening public too.
Yeah, man.
I was listening to a couple of the callers. Obviously,
yeah.
I reserve my comments when it comes to the marijuana thing because
Yeah.
I'm on either side of it. I don't think anybody should be put in jail for marijuana.
Mhm.
Plain and simple, right? So now, how do we go about regularizing and legalizing and making sure that nobody? I don't really know,
Mhm.
and sometimes when you voice your opinion, you offend somebody, and
Yeah.
so I just leave it at that.
Are they misconstrued that you are for or against or something? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, and at the end of the day, like I said, I don't think anybody should be serving any jail time or having a record saying that they had possession of marijuana.
Well, if I agree with you, and if they're gonna be, then it should apply to the judge as well as the juror. It should apply to everybody, right?
Yeah, I exactly. And to one of your callers' point, I don't know anybody who, say, for instance, were under the influence of marijuana and recklessly driven on the road and killed a couple of people. I haven't heard of it. Not saying that it didn't happen.
Mhm.
Just saying
Yeah.
that that's not the norm.
Yeah.
Like alcohol, then is what I should say.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's who lobbies. It's who lobbies and who lobbies for what.
Yeah.
That you see happen around this place.
And this is why I don't want to put you up by a debate. I think is not the right thing. I think what we need to have is dissemination of information so you understand
Yes.
objectively, factually, hey, this is what it is, right? Because I'm pretty sure if you smoke it early on, just like if you drink.
Yeah, I mean, if your brain hasn't been developed and you doing something to alter your development of your brain, it's going to have a long-term effect on you.
Yeah.
And it don't have to be necessarily marijuana. It could be anything else.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just think that decisions and consequences are the things that go hand in hand. So
Yeah.
But I do take the point, and I make a note that people who use marijuana are not typically the violent, outrageous, crazy people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but
They tend to be a little bit more docile, huh?
yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, I shifting some gears, right?
Yeah, man.
Because, clearly, Cayman is a small place, and just about everything is political, whether we like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I I've seen the recent surge of conversations and debates and articles and responses and comments in the whole cruise pier and whatnot. Now, I read this viewpoint that was written by Mr. Courtney Platt, who is an underwater marine photographer, and has been doing it for quite some time in Cayman, for as long as I could remember.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote a viewpoint on CNS, and obviously, it was made public, and a lot of people read it, and there was a lot of comments back and forth, and everybody's entitled to their opinion and how they feel about anything. And I'm happy that we have a healthy environment where we seem to voice our opinions regardless. And of course, I'm not too particular about those people who voice their opinion anonymously, but we see these comments. And one thing I wanted to say in regards to that is that a lot of people are associating the pier in Georgetown or the cruise berthing facility, for lack of a better term, thinking that or suggesting that it will cause the death of 7 Mile Beach and whatnot, and trying to associate some of their beach erosion that we're seeing now with two things. One, sea levels rising from climate change, which is foolishness, or if we do anything in Georgetown Harbor, it will surely affect the 7 Mile Beach. But I read some scientific reports that were done. I have a difference of opinion. Clearly, I think everybody have their own personal valid points to make, but we all share the same facts. Our opinions don't change the facts. So, the Dr. Richard Seymour's report that was published on November the 14th, 2000, which is ironically 24 years ago, it suggested and it highlighted in great detail on some of the sand flows, where they come from, the shifting from the north side of the lee side of the island to the south side, the hindrances, and quite contrary to what a lot of people believe, that nor'westers is the cause of beach erosion or contributes. In fact, the nor'westers is what brings the sand back from the north sound side of the island. It comes around that whole point. Now, the problem is, and it's there, and it's right there for us all to see. It's no secret. You don't need any more scientists to come and write any reports, or we don't need any self-made experts, including myself, who can go out and say, "Oh well, this is the problem." The writing is on the wall, right? You go down to the 7 Mile Beach area. You can get out of your car and walk from Pageant Beach all the way to Bogasan if you choose to do so.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, you're going to have to take a kayak because the beach is gone.
But remember when we could do that?
But I remember when I used to ride horses.
Yep.
From Pageant Beach all the way to Bogasan.
Cemetery to cemetery and beyond.
So what I said to that is that the evidence is there. We don't need someone to spend $1 million or $100 on any report to tell us what the evidence already shows us.
Mm-hmm.
Those walls and constructions and buildings and all of the man-made things that are in the south side of the lee side of the island, which is the West Bay Road, are all the areas in which are drastically affected. That's not a secret. It's sitting there. If you look at the photograph of Coral Beach that has just been announced to be closed down on the 31st of this month due to beach erosion and some other challenges, right? Mm-hmm. You'll see, and it's ironic, I'm pretty shocked that Compass Media put a picture of that particular beach in the way that they did, because we all know who owns Compass now, and we all know who owns the wall in which is in question. So it's funny that if you look at the photo, Sterling, you'll see the side that the beach has eroded off of with somebody in the water playing on the little water surge, and then you look on the right side and you see all the sand that's not allowed to be naturally surfed in and out. And you see this big stone wall down the middle. It is so ironic that they would put that photo on there when the problem is in the photo. Remove the wall and remove the structure, and you'll have the natural nourishment flow that has been allowed to happen prior to putting these structures there, that creates the hindrance that causes the beach erosion. Climate change and seawater level rising is not the cause, because it don't exist. Any construction or any pier or development in Georgetown is not the cause, because it didn't exist. There's a sand chute. Now, here is the critical part about that whole Dr. Richard Seymour's report. There is a sand chute that is in between Hawkesbury Bay and the south side of the lee side of the island, which is being affected by the beach erosion. That if if in bad weather like the nor'westers and other systems that come in, and the sand happens to wash through there because they can't naturally flow in its renourishment areas where it can't wash up and wash down because of the walls and the structures that are preventing that, the sand then by force shifted further towards the sand chute, towards the Georgetown area, which goes off to drop off and is lost forever unless you pump it out. Right? And that's the reason why we don't see the systematic beach coming and going in those areas any longer, because the sand is being lost down the sand chute because the water doesn't have its natural ability to flow up and down the shoreline. So when you go further to the north side of the lee side of the island, you will see where the structures were far enough back where the sand has that natural renourishment ability to flow up and down, and those are the areas that subsequently has all of the beach area that is not bothered. So why is it that the organization that created a problem by putting in these man-made walls after the fact is now pushing for government to help subsidize property owners, including them, along that corridor to put sand back on that beach to renourish it because they claim that we save in tourism, when in fact a lot of the properties that are owned on that southern tip are all private condo owners that have got nothing to do with our tourism product. One hotel lies smack in the middle, which is the Marriott, and we know that. So we need to be extremely careful how we perpetuate ideas and blame and finger pointing, because the realities are sitting there for us to see, and we have allowed organizations like the pro-port people and ACT to try to associate beach erosion. The people that are anti to associate beach erosion with that when they're two separate issues. Those are two separate issues in which we face. So we need to be very careful on how we allow those things to manipulate each other, and then we get the false sense of what's the problem, and then make the wrong decision. So I look at this thing, and all of these people from the pro-port, Elio Solomon, God bless his heart and soul, used that terminology about you got to crack an egg to make an omelet, which is technically suggesting that we need to create some damage in the Georgetown Harbor in order to save our cruise tourism. When nothing could be further from the truth. Let's just say hypothetically that Elio was right, that we had to build a pier to save cruise. Cruise line only make up 20% of the revenue generated in tourism. Okay? 20%. And the thing that is mind-blowing about all of that, 80% of the people that visit our shores come by cruise ship, but they only make up 20% of the revenue generated. So if we're going to prioritize creating a balance in our tourism sectors, stayover and cruise, we must make absolutely sure that we do not do anything to compromise the experience itself.
Right.
Because our experience heavily relies on the stayover passengers, and the revenue generated therefrom relies on the stayover passengers. And we need to make sure that cruise and stayover alike enjoy and have a good experience. So in order to accomplish that, and I keep saying it, you need to understand what can we accommodate on any given day with the amount of people coming into our port in order to maintain a good experience. So we need to know what the carrying capacity is. So I'll end with this. You know what the irony of this is, Sterling? The reason I believe that no government wants to do a comprehensive study to find out what is our capacity and our carrying capacity, what we can actually deal with, is because I believe that we've already met that number. In fact, I think that we have gone past that number. The people that come to our shores now may exceed what our carrying capacity is in order to maintain a good experience for all of our passengers. I think that's one of the main reasons why they won't carry out that exercise, because then the argument for building a pier to bring more people would be flawed.
Yeah. Well, it certainly is something to put on the table and see if others would either support it or dismiss it, but with facts, right? Hey, thanks for that, man.
No problem, mate.
All right. Have a good one. We'll catch up soon, all right? And as we take the break, when we come back, two things, huh? You get 10%. I reached out to Miss Samantha Subran over at Sweet and Savory. they've agreed. If you heard it, Radio Cayman, talk today, whatever you tell them. For this week only, you get a 10% off your purchase. Want to support and invest in the success of our entrepreneurs. And then secondly, we have a $25. You can go down sweet and savory. We'll give it to the 7th caller. If you call and you call back, well, you still count as one. So the 7th person to call, Paul can tell me, well, we can put them on air. You'll be number 1, 2. When you get to number 7, you get the $25. You'll give us your particulars. You'll go across there. They're located right across from the fantastic Health Services Authority campus. And you can enjoy their fare. So that's going to be the 7th person. Somebody got to call first. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Freedom, Cayman Rack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. It's some open line and we want to sort of share the love with you. We're taking the 7th caller as we answer them and put them in. $25, 25 CI dollars. Let's go to this phone. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hello, Dwayne.
Hey, how are you?
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. How is it going?
So good so far, thank God we're still alive, but it's rough.
Yeah, but it's going to get better, you know. We're going to be prayerful, purposeful, positive, productive. It's going to be better, right?
Well, let's hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyhow, calling concerning, I overheard a conversation that regarding the Barkers Beach.
Mm-hmm.
As you know that Barkers was given for a national park,
Mm-hmm.
and you know for the people, my family and your family were the first two families up in Barkers.
You remember that?
What else came up? Oh, if you remember that. We did it the first year, and then the next year you guys joined us. So
Yep.
now we welcome everybody.
There you go.
Barkers to camping.
There you go.
As
Thank
long
you.
as you come and behave yourself and clean up your mess.
That-
Don't leave no mess for us.
That's right.
Because we don't want her to come clean behind anybody. We got to come clean up behind.
Uncle Lester, boy.
Back.
Mm-hmm.
They're welcome. They don't need to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But I was made to understand that the organization, I think it's the DART organization that now wants to develop wants to develop Barkers hotels.
Mm-hmm.
But because he wants his return off of the from the stipend.
Yeah.
The stipend that he gave the people during the COVID vaccine, during that period when the pandemic was on, not about the pandemic. He wants his money. He wants his return now back from his money he gave us, the tourism industry, that whatever the cost was. But I would like to send a strong message out to him or any of the investors that is trying to reap their money back now from that, including the government. Including the government, that if the people that got all of the exemptions for their buildings and their hotels and whatever they bought, that we gave them all the concession, they need to pay us for what we gave them, and then we would have plenty in return to pay them. So they already got what they already. We don't owe them anything. That's like some of the other countries say that we owe Cayman government or Cayman people owe them because what they done for us. We paid them long time ago. So if we gave him in concessions, I don't see where they have the rights now to come back now and want another thing for it. So they already got paid. So send the message out to the whole Cayman Islands that if they want their payment, then they must pay us. Maybe we need to do a FOI to see how much millions of dollars that was waived for tax concessions to all investors, and see if we're not on top by they owing us more than what they gave us.
Okay. Well, proper accounting, looking for value for money, and maybe looking at.
You want value for your money, I want value for mine too.
There you go. Right.
I mean, it takes two hands to clap. You can't clap in one hand.
But only one to beat your chest.
But only one can beat the chest.
I hear you.
So that's why we need to send. We as voters need to send that message out, and not only for backers, but any other thing that they want their payment returned. Tell them to tell us, to pay us the concession, and we call on the government to tell us how much concession, how much millions of dollars concession that was given to all those investors, so that the taxpayers know what they gave away, so we will know how much that they gave us, so we will know. We will see whether we're balanced out.
Yeah.
I am sure that they're always on top. Okay.
Well, as they say, it all comes out in the wash. But thank you for that.
Yeah, if you don't come out and wash, you'll come out and rinse. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. And she's right. I mean, maybe less is more, as you know, the World Architect she's will remind us. And the notion of is what we're doing today. The word we like to use more and more, sustainable. But is it, as some have alleged and as implied then, do we know what's really transpiring? 949-837, 949-6990. We're getting close to the end of the show. Let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, hello.
I'm the seventh caller.
Say again?
Am I the seventh caller?
Paul? No, not yet, Mom. Not yet. No. And...
what am I, the third?
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Okay. And as we shared, we want to give away $25 to Sweet and Savory, but you have to be, you call once and you're not number 7, then when you call again, you still call once, so that doesn't count. Let's take the next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Am I number 4?
As we were sharing, we're going to do it, what's it called? Distinct caller, right? So once you call and you fall into the queue, I mean, Paul can override it. We're going to give him as the ultimate arbiter. But each discrete call will only count as one, so we have to get each one, right? But no, still not here. All right. And of course, reach out to Miss Samantha Subran and Shane over at Sweet and Savory, and they said, "Yep, 10% off for this week." If you heard it on Talk Today, where they came on, you go across there and tell them that. You know, we know from businesses that statistics that the small businesses are the drivers of economies. And it's a new year, a new venture. Well, let's support the ever-growing, restaurant scene. All right. We taking the next call, B? No? All right. 949-3837, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call. That counts as well. 925-3261. You can toll free with the flow. 1-800-534-8255. That's 1-800-534-TALK. We go to this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Yeah. Hello? No? This one? All right. All right. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Not yet? Okay. He said. Answer it now. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Yes, I'm calling number 7. I know it. Drop out.
You know, you're like the student in the class where the teachers say, but anyway, we'll leave it be. We gotta leave it be.
You won't get away from me today.
No, it's not that. But we gotta leave it be. Yeah. Persistence pays off for those who. Yeah, man. All right.
You.
So you don't go nowhere, right? Let Paul take the deeds and we'll roll it with you.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you too. You know, sometimes acquiescence is not always considered. Anyway, I want you to consider a couple of things that were shared earlier. I want you to invite your very, very considered thought into where we are in our society and ask ourselves if we are here. Can we make it as Mr. Hamid over Treats would tell us, unity and diversity. Let's make this place like many who've invested heavily into making it as positive, as safe, as special as it is. So if we are here now and it's our intent to only be here for a short while, or if we found ourselves 4 decades later and still saying, I remember when I want to plan the came from a year, or whether we just arrive and we go, wow, I would like to stay for generations. While we're here, we got options. One is to make it as disruptive and be as disrespectful, or the other is to be conscious and deliberate and saying, what can I do to contribute? Not just, giving some money, but giving of yourself, pouring into the country, seeing wrong and trying to make it right, seeing injustices and addressing them, but perhaps in our own actions, endeavors, in our words and our deeds, maybe reflecting and saying could be a little bit better, a little bit nicer, but also willing to chastise, correct, nurture, guide. It's what makes a community better. If we come out and we help with the, cleanups, if we volunteer in certain areas, but if we just be kind, considerate and compassionate, truly concerned about our communities, making a commitment to ensuring that what we do adds value, might make it a better place. For some of us, our resolve need to be that we're going to try to be more conscious and be the better me that we can be. And for many of us, that's without effort. And for others, man, it's a trial. But at the end of the day, we're doing it for ourselves. And if each one does the very best, then we all can do better. If each one gives the utmost, then we all will have. Tomorrow is Wednesday, right, Mr. B? And Mr. Art will be here in the morning, God's willing. Please join him as he reminds us we are our brother's keeper, as he reminds us as we traverse our roads, he says, please, as we move about our streets, whether you're a pedestrian or cyclist, walking, running, you're driving, if you're the passenger in the car, please do everything to make our roads safe. If you're finding yourself driving and you know you don't have a license, get off the road. If you find yourself driving and you know your vehicle not licensed and are insured, take it off the road. If you're driving and you know your vehicle isn't roadworthy, you gotta get to work. Find another way. Let's not make it because the police are going to arrest you and you get that before the courts. Make it because you got a greater sense of consideration. You can't undo many things, and despite what we may believe in hereafter, that we recognize now, when the life is gone now, it's gone now. Let's not be the cause of that. You will be missed when you're gone. You will probably be haunted if you cause the life of another. So please don't know how to ask anymore, as Mr. Raymond reminded us, as Mr. Art does every time. Please, a special appeal. Drive those little things that flash red, green and amber, yellow stop lights. When they're red, stop. When they turn green, it's not a racetrack for you to see how quick you can get out the gate. And even those that do that on a regulated properly controlled setting as a racetrack. They don't want a green light. They don't want to go too quickly and get disqualified. So take your time as you ease off. Those little signs that say stop, not a suggestion. Stop, please. You don't want to hit somebody. You don't want to be hit by another person. If that offends you, you can call and tell me, and I'll try to say it better so that it resonates more. I'm asking, let's be safer on our roads, all of us, okay? All right, tomorrow, let's be a part of it. Let's make this day even better. If you got chocolate, share. Even if it's the good one. If you don't have the good one, save up till you get the best one and share it. Have a wonderful afternoon, everyone. God's willing, see you tomorrow.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life